Hey everyone, my name is Dr. Gugliano, as most of you know, and today I'm here at the Heartlanders facility with Jordan Q. First of all, Jordan, do you want to tell our patients here, who you are, where you come from, what your background is, things like that?
So my position here with the Heartlanders is business operations and engagement. I'm originally from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, so I'm pretty close
Not too
to
far.
home.
Yeah.
I did my undergrad at University of Northern Iowa and
Better than Iowa State.
better than Iowa State. And moved away a little bit after college, but now I'm back.
So when it comes to the team here, there have been a lot of questions. I think most people are pretty familiar with the fact that the Heartlanders are a minor league hockey team. As far as the development model of the league here, what does it look like compared to something like maybe baseball, or what should fans expect if they come to an Iowa Heartlanders game? Where could they see these players elsewhere?
Sure. So we play in the East Coast Hockey League, which is the AA affiliate of the NHL. So what that means is that there are kind of three different contracts that our players are on that come to us. We have guys that are on two-way contracts with the NHL. So those are your guys similar to baseball, where they're drafted into the Minnesota Wild kind of prospect pool. They're drafted in on that contract, either typically at a 1 or 2 year contract, and then they're sent to us to kind of spend time here and then develop and work up through the system that way. We have your next category is going to be your AHL two-way players. So that's with our affiliate, the Iowa Wild, who plays up in Des Moines.
That would be like the AAA affiliate?
Yes, so that's our AAA affiliate. So that's just kind of one step down from the NHL from Minnesota. So that's those guys. Those are usually on 1 to 2 year contracts as well. And then all of our guys here on the ECHL contracts are 1 year, spend their time with us, and then at the end of their year, they can either be qualified for a returning offer the next year, or they can be released to kind of be picked up by any other team in the league. So being that AA affiliate, we kind of really house guys that are just in NHL prospects in general, rather than with baseball, you kind of, everybody in the developmental system and the minor leagues with baseball have been drafted to that MLB parent team and then kind of filtered down throughout. I think the main difference here is, while we work really closely with the Minnesota and Iowa Wild, our coaches have full autonomy of anyone they sign on ECHL contracts.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's up to them to kind of scout, work with the agents, get the contract signed, all of that. So that's totally different than baseball, where they kind of have a minor league team designated to those things within the business side of it. So coaches really wear two hats here when it comes to contracts and that sort of thing.
So this team is really more for fans of any pro hockey team.
And we actually saw that last year, when you think about our goalie Corbin, because when you're on an ECHL contract, you're protected from being picked up by other ECHL teams, but what you're not protected from is being picked up by any AHL team.
Oh, wow.
So we did see Corbin go play for Syracuse, and we did see Corbin go play for the Rochester team. So it's totally different when you think about it in terms of progressing through. Obviously, if you're on an AHL contract, that's not going to happen to you. And if you're on an NHL contract, that won't happen to you either. But guys in the ECHL can, and we saw it happen with Billy. If you remember Billy, he got called up for that one game to play for the Chicago Wolves. So,
that's great.
With that just there's tons of opportunity to kind of move up to that next step, which is beneficial for the guys.
So the Kelly Cup just ended, and that would be the championship for the ECHL. When do we find out if any of our favorites from last year are coming back?
Yeah, so right now we're kind of in the period where we could protect the rights of our guys from last year. So we had to submit a handful of guys where we protected their rights. What that means is that it doesn't mean they're necessarily coming back, but throughout this qualification period and this offer period, they aren't kind of in that free agent pool. So there's a couple advantages to that. One, we can either sign them back to come to us next year, or two, you use them to kind of trade for other guys at other teams, kind of just depending on how it shakes out. We can start making qualifying offers on June 16th. So
that's right around the corner.
Next week. Then it's kind of our plan to start releasing kind of the names of our players within those couple weeks after, and have some guys out there by July 1st.
Yeah. This offseason we have, as fans of the team, and just things to look forward to throughout the offseason, a lot more benchmarks this time around, since this isn't the team's first year.
Right. So last year we didn't even have coaches in place at this time. So there wasn't even any hopes of roster talks or anything like that. We were kind of doing all of that in August. So we're already steps ahead. The fact that we can have these conversations, the fact that we can qualify guys, that we can protect their rights, that we can make early offers and bring them back. So I think it's pretty reasonable to think that by midsummer we would have a good chunk of core roster guys that are probably names that are familiar and names that we've seen before.
Awesome.
that people can start getting excited about.
Perfect. And will the Heartlanders be out and about in any events this summer?
Oh yeah, so one of the things that we really want to focus on is building on that momentum we saw at the end of the season and just staying relevant through the summer and keeping fans excited. So we have a learn to play session going on right now at the mall. So
I'm familiar.
Yep. So that's one thing that we're working on. And then we've got, of course, we'll be in the Fourth Fest or the 4th of July Parade, and kind of just making sure that all of those things going on in our community and the communities around that are important to people and that our fans are at, that we're there too.
With a young team in a growing area, you have the opportunity to really kind of lay a foundation for what's to come. What has been the most rewarding part of that for you and for the team as a whole?
Yeah, I think just being able to give the community something new to get really excited about. The University of Iowa has been here forever, and we know they have an extremely loyal fan base and a huge fan base. But giving people something else, that maybe they didn't go to the university and they're here for a different reason, or maybe they're just looking for something new to do, just providing that something else. We've heard that a ton too, and creating all of these new fans, we see it kind of all over the map with people that have never been to hockey, had never watched hockey, weren't familiar with hockey, and now they're obsessed with hockey. So it's fun to kind of see that develop, especially here when it's somewhere close to home and in an area where the city of Coralville has done so many things to make it a place that people want to live, that people want to be in.
Well, and the river landing, I mean, just being down here, all these new businesses, all these new apartments, all this stuff, it kind of becomes the area now where like stuff is happening. And
yeah.
It's awesome. You guys are right in the middle of it.
It is, and it's really exciting too, to hear kind of throughout visiting teams throughout the league that they love our facility, they love playing in our arena, they love skating on our ice, they love staying with our hotel, they love being in the IRL with all the options. So it's a really fun thing to be kind of a destination spot that visiting teams want to play, but then that helps a ton too when it comes to the recruitment and retainment of guys, because there's teams in much better spots demographically. It's pretty hard to get guys to come up here when you've got teams like Florida and you've got teams in South Carolina, and so having something like the IRL to offer makes it a little more enticing for players to want to come here, which is nice.
Yeah. And I can speak firsthand to the point. My family was not really at all, except for we enjoyed watching games when they were randomly on TV. But my son had never been to a hockey game, never seen one. It took about 5 minutes into the first game. Actually, it might have been 20 seconds in when Kuffner had the first goal ever, where my son was like, I'm doing hockey now. And so we've been able to take part in their learn to skate programs, learn to play at the Coral Ridge Mall, developing hockey skills, but really just teaching kids like confidence, being able to stand back up when you fall, like all the things we really need. So when it comes to this, I hope you guys know your reach is beyond the sport. We want to be more than just a dental office. We want to be just an exceptional place to be that puts back into our community. And that's why I really, really, really enjoy the partnership with the Heartlanders, and specifically working with Jordan back and forth, because they share the same goal that we have. Is they don't want to just be a hockey team here. They want to be a part of the community and grow the community. So just thank you for having us down, and we are really, really excited about another year with you guys.
Us too. We'll see what's coming.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Of course.